Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. In the last episode, we got started on the first class trial. Things seem to be going alright for now. We haven't experienced anything too difficult. However, I'm still very cautious. Until I see each minigame and I know what's going on, I'm gonna feel rather apprehensive. Now, we were talking about why Byakuya was so paranoid, so I would assume this has something to do with the murder threat he received. He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Gundam, I love you.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
That's right. Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility that a murder would occur because of the murder threat, yeah.
I can prove it with this. Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Okay, I'm gonna just grab that in case, why not? Be careful. The first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
You say that, but I'm looking over at Nagito like,
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
I like how no one believes him.
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
What?
Those are still lies!
It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
I find it so interesting that Nagito is the one leading the trial. Because like I said, I'm not even pretty sure. I am 100% sure that Nagito is at least kind of, I want to say partially responsible for all of this. I think Nagito was the one who sent the letter, Nagito was the one who planted the knife, and Nagito was planning on committing a murder. He wasn't planning on getting away with it, because like I said, that's where his plan stops. It's like, I get the knife, I do the stab, and then the plan stops there. I don't think he had any intention of trying to, you know, like, oh, I'm not the blackened, ba-da-da. Like, I don't think he ever had any intention of trying to trick anyone. He just wanted to get the killing started. And then Teru took over his plan, kind of. Teru got in there first. So I find it so interesting that Nagito is the one leading this. I definitely get the sense that this could be, I guess maybe like a malicious glee. Like, oh, I know what's going on here. I'm one of the key players and no one else realizes it. And because of that, I'm gonna kind of take charge here. Isn't this amusing? I wonder if maybe that's kind of going on with him, or like I said, it could all be his plot. Like, I'm gonna take charge, then they're gonna realize that I was plotting a murder, and they're all gonna be so pissed at me that they vote for me as the killer, and then Teru will, you know, win, and then he'll have been, you know, he'll basically be the ultimate. His hope triumphed over everyone else's. it could be something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but I find it interesting.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Not quite. The killer. Okay, that was a bit weird. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
I mean... Again, I disagree. Because I think that's what Nagito was gonna do. I think he was gonna do a murder and then immediately cop to it. Like, yep, I did it. It was me. And now that one murder has happened, more are guaranteed to follow. Because, you know, people are kind of like sheep. Let's be honest. Most people are like sheep. And I am including myself in that. I'm not being like, I'm not like that. No, I am. To some degree, everyone follows everyone. And if you see one person do something, you are more likely to do it. There will be people who are like, oh shit, I could never commit a murder. Oh, hold up, one's already happened? Okay, maybe I could. Maybe I could. Now that I've been shown it's possible, maybe I could do that. I'm smarter than that guy, right? Like, yeah, I'm absolutely smarter. I could 100% get away with it. Yeah, I think that's what Nagito was trying to achieve. But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
Of course.
What is it, Miss Sonia?
Simp!
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles.
They would have if they had their own light source. Like a portable stove for a hot pot.
But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
Glow-in-the-dark paint? No, the killer definitely used a mark. And because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from under the table into his hands. And yeah, it was the glowing paint.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
Yep.
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
Well, Dodoy, who do you think caused the blackout?
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
Again, not quite. Almost, but not quite.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker.
Don't look at her. She's looking ashamed. She's looking ashamed because she was having problems in the bathroom. How dare you? Don't do this, Kazuichi.
Which means it was you, Pekoyama!
But it wasn't.
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
There can be only one.
I am not the killer.
Oh, I guess she's not.
Akane! I mean, she's not, but like, don't take it at face value.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
By tripping the breaker directly from the office, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? After this debate, blue-coloured weak spots will start appearing. If we call the weak spots you've seen up until now argue spots, the blue-coloured weak spots will be called agree spots. Oh! When shooting agree spots with truth bullets, you need to flip your way of thinking. Instead of arguing that the other person's testimony contains lies or mistakes, please fire the truth bullets that prove the other person's testimony is correct. When your truth bullets merge with their weakness, it will become a logically sound agreement. Isn't it a little hot in here? Okay. From now on, you must infer whether it's best to argue or agree based on what's being debated. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Okay. Well then, good luck and have fun. Ooh, okay. I think...
Since Peko was in the office...
The bathroom being locked.
She could have caused the blackout at any time!
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I think...
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
No, Nekomaru said that the bathroom was locked before the blackout. Yeah, okay, I know what to do. Just from listening to Peko's testimony, it's not weird to doubt her. But I feel like I spoke to someone during the investigation who totally backs up her testimony. Yep.
Since Peko was in the office... She could have caused the blackout at any time!
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
There we go.
No, I think Peko is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko.
Bitch, you're crushing on Sonia and acting like a simp. Don't judge others.
Hey, it's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Peko's alibi.
I've been trying to use it many times, but the door just won't open at all. It had to be his voice, didn't it? It had. Just let me keep being not Nagito, Hajime. Just let me keep being him. My voice is fine, but this guy.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started. And it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
Yep.
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Peko.
I guess that would be... true.
Oh, she's embarrassed. Can we move on?
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier!
That's none of your fucking business!
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
On one hand, I'm like, I agree, but...
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit.
Nekomaru!
Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Dude!
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
I mean, he is the ultimate team manager, so he could have been raised in a locker room. And again, I don't like the fact that I'm agreeing with Mahiru, but I am agreeing with Mahiru. Let's move it on, guys.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
You disgusting pig. Jeez. I don't need to hear about your anus.
I said it's fine.
God, this poor girl. This poor girl.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited?
What the fuck? If you could see my fucking face right now, someone beat the shit out of him!
Seriously, stop it.
Thank you, Hajime!
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
No, he's making an important point. He's insinuating was she poisoned? Mahiru, think it through.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
I mean, if he wants to talk to her like that, I'm fine with it.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Thank you. Yeah, I get that Mahiru's trying to defend Peko, and like I said, it's great that she's there for the girls, but it doesn't excuse her being sexist. No. And like defending her from Nekomaru and Kazuichi and all of that. But Fuyuhiko wasn't being rude. He was saying like, hey, is that really a coincidence? And she just, clearly he must mean that as an insult, and I'm gonna jump down his throat. I think I said this in the last episode. Mahiru is... If there is any character who is gonna piss me off the most, it's her. I dislike sexism. Whether it's a guy being sexist towards women or women being sexist towards men. I despise sexism. So because that is like her main character trait, she's probably gonna piss me off.
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
The question is whether Peko's stomachache was a coincidence, or if someone intentionally caused it. Depending on the answer, the outcome of this trial could change drastically. Okay. Make your argument. You'd assume it would be the party dishes.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that! Laxatives would ruin the taste!
There were only 2 points there. Again, that feels like it should be an agree rather than an argue. In which case, yeah, it's party dishes and laxatives. I think. Whether Peko's stomachache was a coincidence, or if someone intentionally caused it, we need to clarify that first.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
No, that's wrong!
Oh, we were countering. Oh yeah, the agree ones are blue.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall.
That's the other thing that's gonna confuse me. I'm gonna get confused between blue and orange.
Because Peko wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
In which case, how was Peko poisoned?
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
The dishes are innocent.
I apologize for causing a scene.
Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
Why would he have to apologize for saying that she could have been poisoned? That literally makes no sense. He wasn't saying she spiked her own food. He's saying that she was spiked.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
You tell her.
Cease this bickering.
Sonia's like, enough of this bullshit.
Let's just dismiss Peko's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout.
Could it have been a coincidence? Could it have been? Did she take a drink? I mean, it'd probably be easier to spike a drink with laxatives if she took like a whole ass bottle, or like if someone handed her that. It could have been a coincidence, but just it seems a little bit too precise.
Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us.
Jesus.
Trashy skank?
As long as the murder happened during the blackout, then the blackout itself is what's actually important. So we need to make it clear how that blackout occurred. Okay, make your argument. Overloading the system.
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it?
It wasn't that.
If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Okay.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
No.
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
That.
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy skank.
Okay. Oh, Mikan. How did the killer trip the circuit breaker? It's a power surge. I'm pretty sure I already have that clue. Yeah.
Who
I know
tripped the
what
breaker
to do.
and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Next one, I think.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I agree with that.
It's just as Mahiru said. The blackout was caused by a power surge. Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it intentionally.
Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout.
When you found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right?
Not only the irons, but all of the lamps and all of the ACs.
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah. It seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool!
Ooh.
Hold on a second, let me speak too!
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable!
Okay. We're gonna want the timer.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in the when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause... If the irons caused the blackout...
Allow me to cut through those words.
Okay, much better that time.
The irons are just one reason the blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
Air conditioners!
Yep.
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham Hands died around that time too!
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see! I understand! Indubitably!
Indubitably?
Indubitably.
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out.
And who could have done that, Nagito? You've just dug your own grave, dipshit. Who could have done that? There were only 2 people in the building. You and Teru Teru. You just said the wrong thing, bud.
So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Peko was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
What?
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
Okay, so I guess Peko's stomachache was a genuine coincidence. Okay.
Dun dun dun!
Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
He does have a habit of coming back.
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet!
I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. But even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time, and maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach.
I mean, it's impossible to reach with your hands, but she's got a fucking wooden sword on her back. Couldn't she have, like, taken that out and, like, smacked the circuit breaker and maybe could have reset it that way? I don't know how you reset a circuit breaker, in case you didn't know, but, like, maybe if it's just flipping a switch, then maybe she could have, like, hooked it with the sword and, like, brought it down or pushed it up. Something like that.
Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Yeah, it really would have. Like, logistically, she could have done it, but probably not in time to prevent Byakuya's death.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry.
What are you doing? Are you gonna confess?
Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys.
Bitch, what are you doing? What? I've got chills. I got chills when he said that. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna leave off here. I'm gonna leave off on this weird-ass line. In the next episode, are we gonna get Nagito's motivations? Like, that's kind of what it feels like they're building up to right now. Like, that is such a... I don't trust Nagito. I don't trust him a jot. And, I'm intrigued. Oh well, that's all for today. So, until the next episode, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.